Craig Cameron from Gloves Red. Delighted to be joined by Lightning Lee Mcgregor, who is returning to the ring on the 11th of November. Sorry, Lee. How you getting on? Okay.
Aye, good mate, good. Training's going well, and we're nearly there. Finally, it's been a long time. I was training right through lockdown and that, and then I thought about 6 weeks ago. So it's nice. I've been busy and kept going right through this, through the summer and training and that. So it's been a while, but I'm looking forward to it.
And you've been dishing out a few beatings at snooker as well, I've heard.
I know. Well, I've been getting into that a lot actually, but it's just a shame now, to be honest, because we're 2 weeks out now from the fight, and I just need to make sure I'm doing everything properly. So I'm not allowed to. I'm banned for the snooker now. So for the next 2 weeks, well, since the start of this week, I'm just literally gym and back to the house down here in Harlow. So it's not very exciting, but it needs to be done, and I'm sure it'll all be worth it come fight night.
Yeah. So your opponent, Karim Gerfai, I think that's the pronunciation.
Yeah.
So he's a current European champion. What do you know him? What do you know about him, Lee? His kind of strength and his weaknesses.
Well, he's a very experienced fighter. You know, he's been. I think his professional debut was like way back in 2006. So he's been around the block for a long time. He's boxed at a very high level for a long time as well. So he's a lot more experienced than me. So I'm definitely expecting a tough night's work. I just feel like I'm younger, fresher, more hungry. But time will tell. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be one of the fights where a lot of people is going to have different opinions going into it, and then that's why a lot of people are so intrigued, because they want to see what's actually going to happen, and I'm excited to get in there and do my stuff.
Yeah, and Lee, do you realise the magnitude of what you can achieve? You know, with winning a European title, to be British champion, Commonwealth, and potentially European inside 10 fights. I mean, that would put you surely, within the best world prospects in boxing.
100%. And I think what makes it even more impressive is that I am still only 23-year-old. Like anyone in boxing to become, no matter like how old, whatever age, anything, British, Commonwealth and European champion within 10 fights is an outstanding achievement itself. Never mind me only being 23 years old and being pro, be approaching 3 years going into this fight. So I've progressed quickly, but the job's not done yet. I'm fully focused. That's why I've put my body through hell this training camp, and I'm fully prepared, and I'm very confident I can pull this off. And like you say, announce myself onto the world stage, I would imagine.
Yeah. And in terms of preparations for the fight, Lee, so you recently left Steel City Gym in Grant Smith. What was the kind of main reason for that?
There was no really any main reason. I just I needed something different. I was back. To be fair, lockdown didn't help us. It really never. I was back home training myself, not knowing what was going on, and then the opportunity came to go out to Forteventura and do a bit of training out there, and trained with Josh and that alongside him. And I'd known Ben previously before anyway. Done a bit with him, and it just, I enjoyed what I'd done, and I just felt like maybe a little fresh change wouldn't do me any harm. But nothing against Grant and Steel City. Like, all the boys made me feel so welcome. Grant's a top class trainer himself. No bad feelings there. He took me in as one of his own and treated me like one of his sons, like he does all his fighters. So we still get on, I still speak to him, and no bad blood at all. It's just a little change for me, and I just feel like it's the right move I need to make. But as I said, no badness come from it at all.
Yeah, and you moved down to Sheffield, didn't you? You're back in Edinburgh full time now. The family back there.
Yeah, well, I moved to Sheffield. That's right. I got a flat and that, so I would go down there for training camps, and I would just stay there, and then come home the odd weekends and stuff like that. But I'm now based in Harlow. Like, we've got a flat. All the boys will stay in here together. It's a real team vibe. We're all training, living together, and I've been down here for the past 6-7 weeks. I've not been home to Edinburgh at all. I've sacrificed everything in this training camp. All previous training camps, no matter what, I would always go home. I like my home comforts. I would always, you could say, not really come up with an excuse, but like I would just like a little rest and go home at the weekends, and that was my rest anyway. So it would be, but this time I've literally just stayed in Harlow, like fully focused on the job, no distractions. I've not seen anybody. I've got my girlfriend and my daughter come down a couple of times every fortnight, every 3 weeks at the weekends. That's the only people I really need to see just now, Craig, and that just gives me that motivation to keep on going and push through the following week in training, and just gives me that little boost that I need. But yeah, like I said, I've really sacrificed everything this training camp, and I feel like it's going to make a big difference in my performance in just under 2 weeks.
Yeah, and does it help? I suppose I can't comprehend how hard it must be away from your family, but does it help having Josh there, a bit of Edinburgh with you in Harlow?
Yeah, well, it was good to be fair, but I sort of came down as he was finishing off his camp for his fight, and then he fought, and then he's been at home for the past couple of weeks. So I've been in camp with him for a bit, just sort of the back end of his camp. But so he's been home for a while, so I've not really had that. But still, I feel comfortable enough down here. I feel homely. All the lads are brilliant. We all get on well. The vibe's great, and like I say, we all bounce off each other in the gym, and all the lads have made me feel so welcome, and I'm feeling really, really content and just happy, and I'm in a good place going into this fight. Honestly, I really am.
Great, Lee. And Ben Davison, great trainer. What adjustments has he made to you at all in terms of the training?
Oh, I'm improving all the time. I feel like I always have been getting better and better all the time. But just I feel like with Ben, I've really opened my eyes a lot in terms of me as a person, and like I've said previously before, I felt like I was lacking a little bit, but it was just basically things I hadn't known. And Ben's got the full package down here. He covers every single area. So he's got a nutritionist on board. Dave Stash, he's down here living with us as well. So he's got all our meals sorted. He's telling us what we're eating. Nutrition's a big thing for me. Being big at the weight it's no secret. It's been tough making weight for me in the past. It always will be, but this is the best I've felt a long time, and obviously that's the benefits of having the nutritionist on board. Got video analysis. Lee Wiley's been down here for the past 3-4 weeks with us. I've been sat down watching videos, and I've never thought sitting down and watching a video of a fighter and saying, right, look what he's doing here. Look at the purpose behind that. Look, that's why he's getting success. Now you go and try it. I never thought that would improve me so much, and with sitting down and watching these things, and then going into my sparring and doing the things that I've been watching on the videos, it's been clicking so good. And honestly, I've been improving all the time. Even going on doing work on the pads, and everything's just coming together nicely. And I'm really looking forward to showing everybody on November 11th.
Yeah, I think the chat in Scotland, Lee, and you touched on it there, has always been, it won't be long until kind of Lee steps up in weight. Do you think now, with the addition of Dave, that and the nutritionist, that you can stay at bantamweight for a lot longer than potentially you thought in the lead up to the Cash fight?
Yeah, 100%. I thought, see, to be honest, after that last fight, and then Christmas got out of the way, and then we went into lockdown and that, and I was like, and people were asking me and stuff, and I was saying to people that, and even myself, I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever see the bantamweight days again. Like, it's been so long, and by the time I get back in the ring, it's going to have been a year, and this is what I was thinking back in the summertime. And then when I came on board with Ben and Dave actually helped me out with my nutrition for my last fight. Although I wasn't training with Ben, I was training up the road, but I was still in touch with him, and I just trained up the road just obviously because of the circumstances we were all under. We just thought it was the best idea to do that. So from the minute working with Dave, I've seen a big difference, and like I said, it opened my eyes a lot. So yeah, and the goal now, we're joining with Ben and Dave and that now, and we're all in the same boat. The goal is to become multiple weight world champion. Like, I want to be. I don't want to just win one world title. I want to become a multiple weight world champion. So if we can try and hold out bantamweight and for as long as we can and get a shot at a world title, then we're all confident that can be done. And yeah, like you said, if the rematch is on the way up to that, then so be it. It's a fight that we're definitely up for, and hopefully it can happen down the line next year, 100%.
And Lee, I know that you're a massive Hearts fan. Something you've touched on in the past is your dream would be to fight at Tynecastle. Is that something that you've discussed with MTK Global, like down the line, or?
Yeah, that's been mentioned, and like I say, if anyone's going to make it happen for me, it's going to be MTK. Like, I've got the best team around me, the best management team I can ask for. They've delivered everything they've said they were going to deliver for me, and I can't fault them enough. They've been absolutely spot on with me, and I feel like that's just going to keep continuing. I just need to keep putting the work in and keep getting the results, and my time will come. Going back to the Tynecastle thing, 100% it's a possibility. Like I said, if anyone's going to make it happen, it'll be MTK. And Hearts are just as keen. Like, I've got a good relationship with Hearts. I've paraded my belts on the pitch numerous times. I've met the owner. She's keen for it. It's just about getting the right fight at the right time. And I'm sure my dream of fighting there will come true one day. And I would love it to be summer next year. But who knows? Like, this is a crazy world we're living in just now. So we never know what can happen.
Lee, do you think there's a shortage of potential boxing venues in Edinburgh? Because you see yourself and Josh, they're always kind of having to come over to Glasgow. Is that something that maybe Edinburgh's missing, like a really good venue, like for boxing?
100%. Like, I would love a venue back in Edinburgh. I feel like I would do really, really well. I do well ticket sales in Glasgow. I take big numbers through Glasgow, and the aim is, to be fair, to have the whole of Scotland behind me. Of course, I want the whole of Scotland behind me, but it would be nice to fight in my hometown, Edinburgh. And like I say, I've got a really good backing back here in Edinburgh. A lot of people are behind me, and they want to see me. That's why a lot of people want to see the fight at Tynecastle. But at the same time, you would maybe rather a more neutral venue, like we just said, that's not separating. Like, I don't want to separate the city anyway with Hearts, Hibs, and all this kind of thing. I want everyone behind me. So if I was to get offered Easter Road, like, do you know what I mean? It's not like, oh no, I'm a Hearts fan. It needs to be Tynecastle. I just want the whole city behind me, so I wouldn't really care where it would be. And that's what we're lacking. Like you said, Craig, we're lacking a good venue. Meadowbank was all right, but I feel like myself, definitely Josh has outgrown that. I feel like myself is slowly but surely outgrown what that was. I think the capacity was 2,000-3,000. If a rematch with Farouk was to happen, you're looking at the likes of the Hydro and stuff. So yeah, we're lacking that, but we'll see. The next few years, we never know what can happen.
Yeah, I'm sure your support will follow you anywhere, Lee. I was actually at the fight with Thomas Asomba, and I remember your fans were making the most noise even in there. I think they were up in the balcony, weren't they?
Aye, that's right.
So it shows you they'll follow anywhere. But I think that I agree, they need a venue in Edinburgh that you and Josh can fight at. I mean, the Hydro's great, but it's only fair that you guys can fight in your hometown in those big boxing nights.
Yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice. Yeah, definitely.
But Lee, listen, probably the last question, you probably already answered this, but if you do clinch a European title, which I expect you to do, is Cash going to be next? Would you like him to be next? I know obviously the management side of things always comes into this, but for you, would you like it to be next if you do clinch the European title?
Well, full focus of course has got to be on Karim Gurfi on November 11th. Nothing else matters apart from winning this fight. And then I would 100%. I made it clear that I'm down for the rematch. I've made it clear and said my first defence would be against Cashbrooke. So if Eddie Hearn and my team MTK can sit down and we can get something arranged, then let's go 100%. It's a fight. It's a real shame if the fans miss out on seeing that fight again. I feel like there's a lot of unfinished business there and a lot of unanswered questions that I feel like that I can answer, and I would love to definitely have that rematch, and whether that be next, then 100%. But let's win this belt first. That's the main focus.
Yeah, of course. Not Lee, listen, I just want to thank you for taking the time to speak to us, and I wish you all the best for your fight. Looking forward to seeing the European title around your waist.
100%, no problem, Craig. Thanks very much, mate.
Cheers, Lee.
Cheers.
All the best.
Mate.